Welcome, chat. You know, you can't win them all, but you can definitely lose them all. A wise man once told me that. Chat, welcome in to our second episode of the Peace of Mind talk show. I am your host, Psybeartv, and I am welcoming you all to a great night discussing Mythic Plus across the course of BFA and, of course, moving on into Shadowlands, our much anticipated World of Warcraft expansion.
To like single side funnel, basically.
Yeah,
DH needs a
brings.
buff. Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, what the?
I thought it was that Andy's such a squishy tank that he needed the Hellstones to help him stay alive in the pools, but maybe not.
Yeah, it did definitely help.
So, yeah, we've just seen a clip as we introed into this section. We saw the Method EU, now Wunderbar, and Method NA, Golden Guardians. We've seen the dominance of them in a lot of these tournament settings so far. What do you think has kind of been like their secret to success so far, Tettles? And do you think, I mean, I know there's teams like Perplex and stuff like that that are doing very well as well, but what do you think is kind of like the case of the dominance of the scene currently, Tettles?
In some detours, but they're going to both be clashing here, and it's going to be crazy to see.
An interesting thing I wanted to jump in on there is the fact that these teams have already played each other, and in our map pool, the first game for the grand finals is Tal'Dazar. The only game that Pain for Fem took off Self-Perplexed wasn't a Tal'Dazar. So that could be a very interesting play out in this grand finals, but I just wanted to kind of throw that in. I wanted to add as well.
Go for it.
Oh, if it's, I was gonna say as well, Thana with the Kyrian Wrestler Shaman is really strong. He's gonna be doing a lot of damage consistently with that Vesper Totem. He's gonna pop off. I'm calling it. But yeah, sorry.
Isn't Ashen better?
Normally I would say yes, but it's Thana on the Wrestler Shaman, and I played with him and it missed a ton of scythe with the Kyrian Wrestler Shaman. I'm telling you right now, he's gonna pop off. I don't care about Ashen Hallow. He's gonna prove us all wrong. Okay, trust me. And they're actually gonna be dealing with the Enraged Spirit here just on its own. I don't know how like super efficient that is, but I guess they want to save some cooldowns here for this pull that they're going to do now on the side of Sheesh. With Arkalath into the Death Speaker trash pack here, they've got one Inspiring Mob, which you're going to see Thana just go over and Hodge there. Really nicely done. And then they're actually just going to be able to dispatch of everything else and deal with this Inspired Raptor very, very quickly. Those Black gets knocked back, and he manages to Shadow Step backwards. That's one for the montage. I think he's just working up that montage reel for himself. But there's a lot of damage going out here on the side of Sheesh. So we'll take a look now at how Complexity were able to take this win against CLG. We see Complexity have got this high ground advantage here, and they are eventually going to have to move into the zone. So CLG are in a good position, but they end up just making this fundamental mistake of just letting Complexity choose when they want to take this engagement. And then we've got Monsoon here, going to take a few pot shots at Madness and Pow Pow and make them hunker behind this container with nowhere to go. Vaxon eventually has to vacate that defensive position, and this is where now Monsoon moves in. We've got the Gibraltar ult comes down, hunkers CLG down. Madness tries to make a cute portal play, but just gets shut down because Monsoon flanks around through the zone, and then Reptar, he swoops in, and I don't know, CLG just kind of get caught with their pants down. Reptar even whiffs a few shots, but it doesn't matter. Complexity just dominates CLG there. Down to our final 3 squads left up in this matchup. And Content here in this precarious position between the Rock and the Zone, not really liking how they're pincered against the two teams. But as I say that, We the People gets domed from the bridge, gets knocked. And now it's down to Corey and Tons to try and get that teammate back up and running. And now we're moving on to Pub Stars. They're in a little bit of a better position, choosing where they want to take this engage. They see that bombardment. They go, no, we're going to go through the zone. We're going to go into the wounded Content. And here, Luciana, I think, just moves too far ahead of the rest of the team. And Hunter and Mo, they just don't have a chance. They run in a straight line. They end up just getting spray and prayed by Content there. They just went from Pub Stars to at the pub with a pint waiting for this whole thing to blow over. Now what can Corey do? They're going to be moving in on the offensive lanes. That stick, that was insane. Huge amounts of damage going to be coming out from that. Tons gets knocked coming in on the launch pad, flying overhead on Octane, and oh man, Content doesn't matter. Still just the champions. What an end to that game. Yeah, it absolutely will. I think it will come down to that last, 10, 15 seconds or so between these two teams. So those deaths could really, really count there just with that accidental pull of Sognon. But apart from that, I think both of these teams' runs have been really, really clean and efficient. And Sheesh now, I mean, Eddie's going to be just getting absolutely trucked by this boss. He's not on that warrior that can actually make use of that spell reflect to try and redirect some of the boss damage here, at least avoid taking that. And so Andy's really going to have his work cut out for him. Thanner as well, having to desperately heal Andy through this boss. But Mordretha here dropping down to 64% on the side of Sheesh. Evolving here, only 20% left on Mordretha. I think Evolving are actually going to be able to do it, even with this additional 10 seconds. They've got all their trash percent. They managed to... Oh no, Aisha goes down again, so add another 5 seconds to the timer.
Alex is taking so much damage with the physical damage increase on him, with the healer that they're not getting the battle rest off because they need to use the engineer rest.
6%.
Alex is just dropping so low, he strikes around. This beam actually is saving his life here, this Dark Devastation, because he's not casting. There we go! Evolving kills the boss, 10 seconds to the board for Sheesh.
We're going to see this engagement here, see how this does go. DNS got a heavy Stalker count, going to be looking to get that Blink as well. Trying to get those Blink Stalkers up on the map. It's not quite finished yet. He's not going to be able to get up over this gateway wall. He is going to be preventing any work there with that Medivac, but there's still some very strong micro with those Hellions, able to pick them up and drop them around. So DNS, the Blink just about to finish. Is he going to be able to catch up with Clem? It's not looking likely. And that is very unfortunate there for DNS.